Då välkomnar vi upp på scen Tswi.
This is a story about stories. Stories of men and their deeds. What they did, what they had, and what they left behind. And I've heard some fascinating stories. I've heard stories of giants upon the earth. Stories of the grandmother of Europe, the Empress of India, ruler of the British Empire, ascending to the throne at only 18 years old. Today, there is hardly a city in all of England that does not have a statue of that woman. Her name lives on in cities and districts, in provinces and waterfalls throughout the world. Today, I've heard beautiful stories. Ugly stories, scary stories, bloody stories, stories of courage, cowards and heroes, stories of war and stories of peace, stories of power. I once heard a story of a 12-year-old little girl who carried God inside her womb. I have heard of men born in obscurity, without a single desperate drop of nobility in their veins, rise to rule the world. Mothers who birthed nations and carried kings inside their wombs. Stories of the paper and the pen against the barrel of the gun. But to you, the history books, I say, here lies a mystery for you to unfold. A riddle in your mind and a thorn inside your soul. For it terrifies me, the thought of what must have gone into the making of a soul. Something so precious yet so powerful. But be not deceived, my friend. There are darknesses in life that have broken the souls of demons, let alone men. Powers that have cloaked the streets of history with blood. Anything can happen to anyone. But once in a beautiful while, from across the shores of time, from that yonder place where the souls of men forever long to be, once in a while from that place of forever, a man or a woman crosses over to our shores, destined to burn like flaming stars across the darkness of humanity, shining with the splendor of 10,000 passions. They are born, they live and they die, but history will never forget their names. Men and women who could set kingdoms on fire with their words. Men and women who could speak as if the very throne room of heaven was exploding inside of their chests. Men and women who could grab destiny by the throat and mercilessly hold it captive with their breath. Individuals born to brand their names on the fleshes of history for better and for worse. Suffice it for me to say this, that if this breed of men and women was never born, our history books would be empty. If this breed of men and women was never born, our history books would be empty. But I've also heard other stories. Stories of the people, the masses, the nations of the world that have lived and died under the shadows of ruthless and powerful rulers. The countless grains of sand that litter the insignificant landscapes of our history. The generations of mankind that have been raped under the altars of power and greed, and these are the most beautiful stories. but the most painful stories, the untold ones, from the dark side of the world, where the souls of mothers bleed heartbreaking lullabies, making melodies with music extracted from bleeding voice boxes, strumming on aching heartstrings and drunk on the poison of pain, worse than sticks, stones, or broken bones. These mothers carry splinters in their souls, and it hurts. It hurts to know that the blood from your wounded knee will forever mark the boundaries of your stolen homelands. To know that there is a reason why time flies, why hearts cry and why hope fades in dark times. But may you always remember that there is a flaming fire that rages inside of the souls of each and every one of you. It has been raging long before ancient times, and it rages even now as the horizons of our history are fading, and humanity forges forward on a dangerous march into the unknown darknesses of our tomorrow. It rages like ancient prophecies dipped in the beauty of eternity and baptized in the belly of the sun, and it is a fire that will devour all the unrighteous deeds of evil men. See, the stories of men will come and go. Some will fade, and some will endure. But when it's all said and done, only one question will remain. Politically speaking, they are politically deceiving us, systematically conditioning masses for manipulation, using mainstream media, puppets of propaganda, feeding us half-truths, garbage, and scandals. There is blood in here, horrors of our own making, we the masters of our own depravity, rubbing salt in our own wounds. It burns like the taste of wasabi, double-crossed like the states did to Gaddafi. There is blood in here, and Vladimir is the reason you see crying men. There's too much crime here. In war as in politics, you get out what you put in. Mainstream deceptions had me thinking I was militant when I was really limited, deceived, with reasons for living in prisons of isms and schisms, of breathing in strange days, with religious fractions and playing the blame game, making the same claim on the same state. It's a sad state when one can say that 9/11 was an inside job with a straight face. In this age of lying heroes, I saw faceless weeping widows in the desert when I ran from serious danger, born free, bare feet from the belly of the beast, voices yet to bleed what my thoughts refused to believe, hair flickering in silence like a blind man's dream, spotting psychedelic visions so golden that even Stevie would wonder, with insight to give flight to revolutions, hurling blood moons out of orbit, 7 stars tattooed in the palm of my right hand. The blood from 1,000 generations already stains my robes. So go ahead and place your dreams upon my tongue. I dare you. You see, I have already glimpsed the rhythmic brilliance waiting at the tip of our lips, bursting forth like beasts rising from the sea. It steals a real place in your heart when your soul is exposed, leaves a cruel taste in your mouth where these poems are born. A spot on a scarred face, a soft drink with a sharp taste, a storm that can't escape. See, there's a rock and then there's this hard place. Yes, sleeping with a broken heart will seep into your dreams, just like sleeping with an open mind will keep you from the streets. Yes, these are the words I was sent to tell. We're living in a world with our dreams on sale, beginning every morning with a clear-cut vision is a reason for believing that we all can make it. Since the beginning we be busting bones, we be crushing foes, giving birth to poems. These are the reasons we be casting stones, we be flushing floors and be fighting in storms. But there is blood in here, and it's bleeding in the north, it's bleeding in the south, it's bleeding in the east, and it's bleeding in the west, and it bleeds the same color as yours and mine.